When they moved on like it never mattered. Ooh, yeah, I know you felt that one. Because if you cared as much as you said you did, then why was it so easy for you to let go? I used to journal that. Ask that same question. It used to keep me up at night. Because when someone moves on like it never mattered, it has you questioning whether or not, if any of it was real. Did they ever even love me? Did they ever mean the words they said? Or was I just filling space in their life until someone else came along? Thinking like that, spiraling like that will torture you.
Remember that you don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live fully, love deeply, and laugh hard.
Welcome to the Pieces to Peace podcast. We are one conversation away from a shift in perspective that can lead to a decision that can change our entire life. So let's have that conversation. Today, we are going to unpack the pain of watching someone move on so easily, and how to heal without letting their choices define our worth. So let's get into that. First portion of this all, it's about understanding the pain of our perception, right? We see them move on so fast, we tell ourselves a story, right? We don't just grieve the relationship, we grieve the illusion that the relationship meant the same to them as it meant to us. Somebody needs to hear this. And often we equate someone else moving on fast as how little they cared. When in actuality, I want to give you a quick little reality check. Sometimes people can numb, distract, and jump quickly into something new as a way of avoiding their own pain. That's always possible, very relatable, and very real. And that's not proof that it didn't matter. It's proof that they're avoiding the fact that they even have to face what they lost. But the truth is, just because they don't look broken doesn't mean they're whole. And just because you still feel deeply about the relationship doesn't mean you were foolish. It means you were invested and you were real. That's what I mean by, if you change the things you look at, then the things you look at change. That's what cognitive behavioral therapy is about. Catching that story you're telling yourself that makes you feel like crap, challenging it, and changing it into a better story that makes you feel a little bit better. Not out of delusion, but out of a shift in perspective, out of healing. Because healing isn't about forgetting what happened. I've said this many times before, and I want to keep saying it so it's engraved in your heart. Healing is not about forgetting what happened. It's about remembering, but with a new perspective. So let's get that perspective. So this is like your automatic thought, right? The thought I want you to catch. If they moved on this fast, I must have never mattered. Does that sound familiar? I've been in that position before, and I want you to understand this is us reframing it and shifting that perspective. Their speed of moving on reflects their coping style, not my value. Yeah, that's the truth too. I'm not feeding you delusion, just a different perspective to help you heal, to walk you across this bridge of healing. We look at an action, they move on so quickly, we're like, I never mattered. They never cared. I must not be worth it. They must have played me really bad. They threw away 4-year relationship, 5-year relationship, hop into a new relationship after a couple weeks or days or months. Does that mean I never mattered? Does that mean we never mattered? No, that's a reflection of their coping style. They chose the easier road. You know how uncomfortable it is to sit in your own pain, to deal with your own actions and consequences, to be with yourself after a relationship? You start feeling lonely. But as you continue to heal, you realize you're in a season of solitude. So most people take the easier road, downloading the dating apps, going on dates, and hopping into the next fling so that they don't feel the sting. I just thought of that right now, but it's real. And I want you to reframe it, right? Their speed of moving on so quickly is actually a reflection of their coping style, not your value. And challenge the thought by asking, what evidence do I actually have that I didn't matter? What moments prove otherwise, right? The initial evidence of them moving on quickly might be the evidence of you not mattering at all. But then what about moments that actually contradict that? We tend to kind of not even pay attention to it. The moments where they did show up, where they did surprise you with gifts, say that they love you, was intentional, actually cried, or was in the moment. Those moments don't disappear. It's not like you never mattered. It's just not part of your current reality. It's like maybe as a kid you went to an amusement park, right? Or a field trip or whatever, maybe a memorable moment. You can close your eyes and remember it, right? and you open your eyes, you're not there right now. It existed, it was real. It's just not part of your reality. Your parents took you to Disney when you were younger, or amusement park. Those moments occurred, it was real, the relationship was real. The anniversaries, the trips, the gifts, the I love yous, they were real. It's just not part of your current reality. So yeah, they might have moved on quickly, coped in a way that wasn't quite healthy. That says more about them and almost nothing about you, about how much they meant to you. It's not a reflection of that. And I need you to actually believe that. Instead of replaying their choices, I want you to test your own. Every time you see a reminder of them, instead of spiraling, replace it with an intentional act of self-respect. I want you to journal. I want you to work out. I want you to pray. I want you to call a friend. Pivot that energy elsewhere. Place it somewhere. Have a game plan. If you don't already have one, this is your moment. Grab a journal, please. Grab a journal or open up your notes while you're listening to this. Or make a mental little safety plan. When you crash out, when you have the emotional spiral, what are you going to do? Taking a deep breath is a great first step, because when our emotions are heightened, the first thing to change is our breath pattern and our depth. We start breathing shorter and faster and just out of our natural rhythmic speed, because our emotions shift, and the first thing to change is our breathing pattern and depth. So controlling that and doing breath work actually forces you to be more intentional, more grounded, and it combats the natural spiral that's going to happen with your emotions trying to hijack your actions and thought process. So the first thing to start regaining control or reminding yourself that you're in control is breath work, breathing exercises. Add that in there. Journaling, praying, going for a walk, workout, phoning a friend. All of those things are a vote for you, self-love and self-respect. Over time, your brain learns. Their actions don't dictate my healing. My actions do, as you continue to do that. When you start feeling those feels and you pivot towards those healthy pivoting mechanisms, that's what you tell your brain. That person's actions, it doesn't dictate my healing. Not at all. My actions do, because I'm taking those proper steps, those harder steps. And that's where it counts. I want you to do like a self-compassion style of journaling when you do. Write a letter to yourself from the perspective of someone who loves you, because you love you. And if you don't, start loving you, taking yourself on dates, asking yourself what you like, doing things that enjoy your just presence. Become your own best friend. Treat yourself like a stranger, as if you would start dating them, right? Get to know yourself. Take yourself out on dates. Find out your interests, your likes, your dislikes. Enjoy your own company, because this letter, this loving letter that you write to yourself, it actually rewires that harsh inner critic that interprets the other person's movement and moving on as a form of rejection and a form of your worth. So writing that letter, showing up for yourself, pivoting towards those healthy mechanisms, all of those compiled together starts to shift the relationship with yourself. Now, in Psalm 34 verse 18, it reminds us that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and he saves those who are crushed in spirit. When people walk away, it can feel like abandonment, but God doesn't move on from you. And maybe, just maybe, you might have put that person on a pedestal. You might have started worshiping that person and neglecting God, taking your eyes off of God and placing it on that person. And if God takes it away and you aren't okay, that's a problem. You were idolizing that thing. You were worshiping that thing. That thing may have came from the creator, but you treated that creation as if it was the creator. And that's where the problem lies. The same love that may feel like it's absent, right, in them, is still abundantly present in him, in our Heavenly Father. Their distance doesn't define your worth. God's closeness does. So while you may see them, right, and it seems as though they moved on, like it never mattered, remember, what God is doing in your life still matters much more than what's going on over there. And sometimes God has to break your heart just to fix your vision. Sometimes God has to break your heart just to fix your vision, to realign you, to call you home, to remind you, hey, you forgot about him. And if you're in that season of healing, you're looking for structure, guidance, support, I do offer one-on-one coaching, or you can just join the healing community. Super affordable. There's a 7-day free trial. We have weekly group Zoom calls and monthly workshops. So check it out. It's worth a try. There's nothing to lose. So someone else's ability to replace you quickly doesn't erase the love that they gave you. Just like the analogy I gave you in terms of the amusement park traveling, right? The trips. Those memories existed. Those memories are real. It's just not part of your reality. And the fact that they moved on so quickly, it doesn't just cheapen the memories you had also. And it certainly doesn't define your value. Healing is not about proving you matter to them. It's about realizing you matter outside of them. I know you hear me, but are you listening? They may have moved on like it never mattered, but your healing, your growth, and your future will prove that you do. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, and I want you to remember this before we go. You don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live hard, love deeply, laugh a lot. And until next time, peace from Dees.